Hi, YouTubers, and hi, everyone from my group that's come over to YouTube. I am usually over on Facebook, but I'm trying to get more over on YouTube. So this is the third time I have tried to do this video. First time the phone rang early this week was at 13 minutes. Second time, just now, was at the 10-minute mark and realized something was malfunctioning. So hi, and let's hope we can get through this time. I want to talk about my own personal journey and how I kind of ended up where I'm at, where I started, what it's been in between as far as paganism, Christianity, Catholicism, goddesses, deities, witchcraft, all of it. But I need to shut my heater off. Hang on a sec. Okay, so I'm back. My technology, my techno stuff with the camera is basically me sitting in front of a phone pushing record. So let me just get going with this, and let me do a little disclosure right now for anyone that wants to leave me a long comment or give me advice or try to steer me in the correct direction. You're going to be wasting your time. You really are going to. This is my journey. I'm a grown woman and I can journey wherever I want to. And I've already faced the heavy criticism from the Christian community and the threats and the warnings and supposedly the Satanism. And I also have faced it from a lot of people in the Wiccan or pagan community that feel like you cannot pray to God and do witchcraft, and they can be just as judgmental. I get it from both sides, and honestly, I don't care. You guys can sit and butt heads all day. I'm just not going to respond to any of it. I will just, it doesn't affect me. This is my walk, my journey, has nothing to do with anyone else, nor do I need an opinion. And I think we all need to get to that place where we don't care, because, and yes, we have to be teachable. Yes, we have to be teachable. And I learn and study and grow, hopefully daily. That is the journey. But our experiences, our path, it's just that. It's ours. And so embrace that in yourself. Embrace who you are. Dig down into your life force energy. Get in your own thoughts and your own mind and think for yourself and ask yourself, what do I believe? What am I experiencing from above or around me or my spirit guides? Or is there something divine out there that I'm feeling? Like, question for yourself. And when I say study, I don't always mean study a book. Study what's in here, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing for yourself. Because if you were on an island and you didn't have the internet, you didn't have books, you could be a very spiritual person. You could have different practices that you did. These are not things we have to learn from one another, which it's helpful though to support each other and read things. I'm not opposed to that. I'm just saying there is knowledge within us, and that I feel like is the journey within us, experiencing what's out here and then interpreting it. See how long I am. So with that being said, I'm just going to do a quick, okay? If you have questions or whatever, no problem, but just let me do a quick thing here. So I was brought up Catholic, went to Wednesday night catechism and all of these sorts of things. Not like a staunch Catholic, but very familiar with the Catholic religion. At about age... and I did have my first communion. So at about age 15, 16, 17, I had gotten in trouble at the church, something I didn't even do. I was late bringing my siblings to class because I had to do something for my folks or whatever. So I can't remember how it went. So I was made to copy out of the Bible. Nuns had me, and the priest kind of got onto me. And, well, that's the first time I was handed a Bible. So I'm copying out of the Bible, and it kind of sparked an interest in me to actually read the Bible. So I had gotten a Bible from my mom for First Communion, and I started reading the Bible. And I began to question the whole confession thing for me. This is my personal, for me, remember, for Jody, for Moon Mama. These are my thoughts. They don't have to be yours. So as I began to question, I thought, it says in here that I can confess to Jesus. Like, I can just confess to Jesus and I'm forgiven. Why do I have to go into this little booth? Awkward. I didn't like it. I swore at my mom in my head, say 4 Hail Marys. It wasn't for me. So I wasn't turning from God. That wasn't my struggle. I believed in God because I had an experience when I was 3, and it's so clear in my head. And I would have more experiences like this with a large, when I would close my eyes, I didn't know I was praying. I didn't really know what I was doing, but there would be divine beings there. And I knew from that time when I was 3 that I had a calling for something. And I knew that there was something bigger than me. So again, at a young age, I knew there was something outside of myself that had created me in a wonderful person, a wonderful soul. Little girl thoughts where you have this, ooh, I'm created by something who really loves me. Okay. So question that, had a couple kids, just doing a normal, whatever, life, got divorced, got remarried. And then in 1992, I believe, went to a church and got saved, accepted Jesus as my savior, and was a mainstream Christian, not too excessive one way or the other, no extremes. Had a lot of good friends, and I did experience Jesus. I did feel God's love. I did feel forgiveness. I felt grace. It was wonderful. It was a very freeing thing for me. It was beautiful. Then I started to get religious. I started to want to be a better Christian than my peer group. I wanted to be praised for reading the Bible. I wanted recognition. I wanted a formula for raising my children, especially wanted a formula that would guarantee me, and for my life too, that if I did this, and the other thing, my life is going to work out good. I'm going to have prosperity. I'm going to have obedient children, all those things. So I continue to journey, my husband and I both, and we're getting very religious. Not too bad yet at this point, but pretty intense. Our oldest son does something that is shocking, off the charts, and this is years and years ago. He's a grown man now. So now because we have 2 boys younger than him, we really need a formula. We need to have something that will guarantee that this doesn't happen with our other children. So we start reading books. We get into the whole patriarchy movement. If you don't know what that is, Quiverful movement, research it. Wow. Totally into it. 100% studying, listening to DVDs, buying DVDs, going to conferences, all of it. Wearing only dresses, got rid of the Barbie dolls, got rid of movies, like everything. So the Barbie dolls, we have our daughters home now. I kind of skipped ahead. We adopted 3 children then in the midst of this from Haiti, our 2 daughters, and then an older boy. He's an adult now, our son. So we're going along. Okay, we've lost most of our friends and family because we're so judgmental. Our only friends are people that are as judgmental as we are, but we all sit together judging each other anyway. And let me put this out there for anyone that's watching this that is judgmental, or somebody who knows, if you know somebody who is in a very judgmental place like that, it's not a good place to be. I was there for several years, and the way that you're judged by this person, they are judging themselves even harder. They've forgotten, or they never knew grace. They never knew the love that I feel from my divine creator. They miss that. I had lost of everything that was good to me in Christianity was gone when I was religious. Gone. And the other thing that's put on us through these teachings, and it was a cult. I was in a cult, 100%, hands down, is if you stray from this teaching, you will be punished. You will be out of God's grace, but it's not work-based. I don't know what that just said. So anyway, so I hope my camera works. So anyway, that's what's going on. So, and I want to say, if you're watching this and you're one of these judgmental people, you don't know how to love yourself. You don't. And that is a problem, because you're not reaching people with the hate Christianity slogan, condemnation, bang yourself over the head and then bang somebody over the head. That's not how it's supposed to go. Let me swipe this message. Okay. And again, these are Jody's thoughts and opinions. And this is my video and my channel, so that's why I'm sharing what I think. Okay, so where was I in the timeline of things? Oh, okay, so things are going along pretty good, besides the one thing with the first son. And we're this, noble patriarch family, and we wear suits and dresses, and oh my gosh. And our son, our third-born son, who would be my husband and I's biological son, the one that we have together, decided he wanted to have a couple beers. And that was not allowed on our property, not allowed in our home. And I live in Wisconsin, the beer drinking state. I mean, Wisconsin has like 17 of the drunkest counties in the United States. 17 are in Wisconsin. Okay, so here it's a pretty common thing to have a social drink in Wisconsin. In my world, the teachings that I had been given would be, at this point, I have to tell my son, because you're violating my law and God's law, get out. I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're to cast him out, to throw him out, and then hopefully he'll end up in a pig pen somewhere, broken, and he'll come back to us. Well, guess what? My faith was questioned that day. And what I thought was going to be one of the worst days of my life was absolutely a pivotal, best time. I mean, I have thanked my son over and over for shooting the legs off my high horse, because I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to cast him out. I had experienced God, you guys. I had experienced divine light in something bigger than me that I knew loved me and loved my son. And what these words in this book, what these people had told me, no, that's not the God I know. So at that moment, like, my brain woke up, because I was able to allow myself to think. And what got me to that point at that moment was the fear I faced. I was faced with a choice, the fear of discarding my son or God punishing me. And I had to fear the loss of my son more than I feared God. And it set me free, little by little, from that fear of being punished from God. Punishment. Oh, my phone's getting hot. Okay. Hopefully it's okay. So got over that fear and started thinking for myself secretly for a couple years. So this would have been a while ago, quite a while ago. And didn't really tell any of my friends or anything what was going on. I kind of just started pulling away, because I knew they would get in my face. They would start to draw me back into the stupid cult. And I can say stupid if I want. This is my channel. And I didn't want anyone influencing me. So I was really private about what I did, extremely private. I was even quite private with my husband, other than, vaguely saying I'm really questioning my belief system. It would make him pretty edgy to discuss it anyway. So I said, let's just not talk about it. It is what it is. We weren't going to get divorced or anything over it, but spiritually we were really not equally yoked at all. But he was really good in allowing me to think and pursue my own belief system. So that's how that all went. And as I started to journey and study, I was like, it was like the whole doors were opened, and just like freeing and looking around like a child, like a little girl, to be able to look at this or study the history of that or have a different viewpoint on this. And, people warn me, you're going to get led into Satanism. You're going to get taken away by the devil. Those crystals and that essential oil, the devil will come into you because of those things. And I'm sorry, essential oils, just saying, are made from plants, crystal stones, your God. I mean, he created everything. He made these things, but the devil somehow, why give the devil the power? I just thought it was all such bizarre thinking. Like, it all of a sudden, it didn't make any sense to me. It was just kind of crazy talk to me. So with that being said, I have at times said I was a Christian witch, but I don't think that's a proper term, because being a Christian witch would mean I didn't practice paganism. I guess who would call me a Christian witch would be like someone who's Wiccan, because I might use the word Jesus or God. That makes me Christian, but I wear a pentagram necklace and that doesn't make me Wiccan. So these labels we're putting on ourselves, because I have a rosary, I'm not Catholic. Because I have a deity statue that's Haitian, I'm not strictly into hoodoo. I'm not a hoodoo. I practice hoodoo. That's not voodoo, by the way. Hoodoo is not voodoo. They're two different things. Again, these labels, witchcraft is not Satanism. Paganism is not mean you have, you have no belief in anything. We have got these labels so messed up. So I would not, at this point, I'm just trying to put into words, what am I? I'm definitely pagan, and if one of the definitions of paganism is having religious practices from a non-mainstream religion, so you don't fall into a mainstream religion, you have your own belief system. And do I go to church? No, I don't go to church, a building. And even when I was very staunch Christian cult-like, it was home church for me. It wasn't a mainstream. It was extreme. And again, the extremes are not a good place to be. So I practice different things that work for me. That's what I do. And my heart, when God sees my heart and he looks down, and what is God to me? God, quickly, I'll just say, is an energy. He's not a he necessarily, or she. I don't think he or she looks like a human even. I say he because that's what is in my file. But it is an energy. It is what has created me, a divine being that has female and male energy both. Because even the Bible says that women were created in his image. So how like there's parts of it that I can say, okay, I could get this, and other parts it's like, why? That doesn't go with that. And so to me personally, energy. And that's what I do, energy. I work with energy. I feel energy. I read energy. I send energy. That is my gift. That is my gift. It's a good gift. It's a beautiful gift. I am thankful and blessed. I'm not afraid of my gift. I'm not afraid to pursue things. I didn't end up in the dark following the devil, out of body, levitating with a Ouija board. This is ridiculous to think that a grown ass woman who has studied and researched and lived this very disciplined life is going to fall off into some sea of, what is that stuff they do? Spirit cooking, or just craziness. Complete craziness. Or to think an item like these herbs right here that I made are going to be dark and evil and come into your home, and some little demon's going to come out of them and take you over. That's so fear-based. Fear is a horrible thing. Get rid of your fear and embrace who you are inside, your life force energy, your beautiful, wonderful self, and rise up and let yourself think and experience all things in life, and you'll know if you're in the right place. And keep yourself healthy in your mind, very important. Take care of your body. Put good things into your mind. Don't sit around watching horror films and a bunch of dark crap and think when you start practicing your magic, it's all going to be love and light. I mean, really take this seriously. Don't mess around with what you don't know how to handle. And why would you? I mean, where does that lead? How does that help anyone? My goal is to heal myself first, heal my children, love my husband and help him heal, and heal anyone that I can offer healing to just by sharing this story, doing a card reading, talking with them, sending out healing, sending out something that I've put my energy into them, just all of it, being joyful, being happy, encouraging people. This is my life. This is what I do. So for any of you that are watching this that said, you know, oh, Jody's following Satan, and oh my gosh, really? It's, guys, and if you're in a crossroads where you're afraid because you have this religiosity put on you, well, I would just throw it way out, because I am such a better person today than I was 15 years ago. I am so much more able to walk up to a perfect stranger and hug them and love them. And I don't care if they're gay or lesbian or drunk or on drugs or Buddhist or Wiccan, or I don't really care. There's the soul inside of there, and we all have the same skeleton system. None of that matters. It's silly. So I know what I was going to say is, when I was kicking myself out of the Christian community, I was very much opposed to tattoos. My son had gotten one. It was just a John Deere tractor, and I was stressed. I was stressed about that. My firstborn son got a tattoo that said, if this sums up everything, it really does, don't judge me because I sin differently than you. That was a good one. That was a good burn on me. I mean, my kids have taught me so much, and I'm so grateful that I raised kids who are adults now, but even when they were kids, that were willing to stand up to some of these things that I was doing. That was courageous of them, and I'm proud of them for that. So what I did is, it's right here on my arm. I have a sweater on, and no, I don't regret it, because I get people asking me this in the pagan community. Do you regret getting that tattoo? And it says Jesus. That was my first tattoo. And I knew that I needed to do something, number one, that I wouldn't forget where I began. And that was with Jesus. That was when I felt that love and grace. And number two, I knew that nobody would take me back in with that. I mean, I literally was called a heathen by my daughter-in-law's family. I mean, really, it was just like a lot of people got real upset. Family members, sister-in-laws. I paid for it myself. Not sure why it would bother so many. Some that weren't even Christian got angry. So just so I wouldn't be accepted back in, and I wouldn't be tempted. It was kind of like marking myself, like, you're done with this now. And your version of Jesus, your version of God is here. It's with you. It's what you experience yourself. It's not looking outward to see what other people have experienced. And so that's what I did. No, I don't regret it. I have several tattoos that mean several different things. And so just real quick, I do practice some things from being Catholic. I have a little thing hanging on the wall, like with holy water, that I make my own holy water out of full moon water. So I've just combined, and it's fun. It is just fun. I've combined these things. I have my rosary from my mom gave me from when I was a little girl. I will work with that, with mala beads in the other hand, working with both. I love the teachings of Buddha and the whole light and the love, and I'm not afraid of that sort of thing. One of my spirit guides I work with a lot. Sorry. Her name is Gavetta. I do believe in fairies. I have seen fairies. What are fairies? Fairies are, to me, little angels with wings. And of course, we're going to need little people, big people in this divine universe that we live in. I do honor Mother Earth. I celebrate Earth Day. I celebrate the pagan holidays. I celebrate the Christian holidays. Oh my goodness, I do all of it. And that is just what I do, because I've celebrated Christmas my entire life. And I'm not going to take that away from my children. I still have children at home, and my daughters very much would call themselves Christian, and I'm happy to explain why I'm calling myself pagan. And we all get together fine. We get along great. There's no discussion of argument. Their favorite show is Ellen. They watch it every day at 3. I watch Ellen. It doesn't have to be this nitpicking situation, and it doesn't have to be a set of here's exactly what I do. It doesn't have to be. Do whatever works for you. But in closing, I guess I do want to say this. And this video is so good for me. So anybody that's watching this, I really thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I hope I'm not boring you to death. Because as I am sending this out, it is solidifying in me where I am at today. And I made a video, I think it was 2 years ago, on coming out of the broom closet. And I haven't watched it. I don't usually watch my videos after I do them. I don't know. I put it out, it's done. But I'm sure I've made some huge changes from them. And I'm probably, I'm very freely expressing what I think right now and what I believe. I'm not afraid to be completely honest. So I appreciate you guys listening and taking the time to let me share my journey. So that's the goal, I feel like, in this, is the journey doesn't end, but true enlightenment, like the true, like, peace that we're looking for, you know, that joy where we sit and we go, we're going to do a ritual or just light a candle or go take a bath, and we're going to find this true inner peace, is having comfort and having confidence in our own belief system, where we're not afraid to share it with anyone. There's a couple different things here. We're not afraid to share it, but we also know when not to share it, when it's not worth our time to share it. If we're going to share it with somebody to just kind of convince them or prove to them, or we're getting a little agitated, don't waste your breath, because somebody's already got their mind made up. They're not discussing things. They're not sharing ideas or opinions. They are trying to change your mind. So be cautious who you share with until you're to the place. Like, I'm in a place where I could share with anyone and they could say whatever. I get letters, I get messages, long ones, and it doesn't really bother me. It honestly, 100%. I feel bad that they wasted their time more than anything, because it truly is a waste of time. I feel bad for the karma on somebody that's being so judgmental like that. And I feel bad for the way they must judge themselves. So that's a great place to be. You're free. I am free from man's judgment. That has nothing to do with me. Whoever's judging us doesn't live with us. They don't see what we do. And I don't need to tell people what I do. I don't need to say, oh, I sent this to this person, or I gave away this, or I don't need to tell these things. It is just part of my own karma. What I send out comes back to me. And that is the comfort. And it's kind of like a secretive, beautiful way to live, where you're just doing your thing for you. And then all these blessings start to flow to you, and your energy starts to raise, your vibration raises. You're not feeling so oppressed. You're not feeling so depressed. You're not questioning things all the time. Not that it's bad to question, but it's bad to keep revisiting and questioning. And if you're worrying about what this person would think or that person would think, you've got to close the door on that. You've got to close the door on that and say, what do I think? What do I think? Because you live with yourself. When you lay down at the end of the night and remember and tell yourself what a beautiful, amazing creation you are, and whoever you are talking to or praying to, or maybe you don't pray, or whatever, it's your gig. But you're with yourself at the end of the night, and that's what should matter. So I hope this has been helpful and encouraging, and leave a comment if you must, if you have something negative to say. But if you have any questions or anything positive to say, leave that too. Okay. I love you guys. Oh, and if you are finding this via YouTube, I don't know if anyone would, you can find me on The Witch's Moon Dance on Facebook. That's my page. And then you can request to join. I have kind of like a selling Witchy Supply Metaphysical page. It's a community though. It's a wonderful, amazing group of people. Love you guys. You can request to join that. I just marked it a private group because we're really starting to share some cool stuff, and I have amazing prices, and I do sales events a couple times a month or randomly here and there, and it's hard to say right what I'm going to do. But okay, it's Saturday night. I'm losing my voice from talking, and I love you guys so, so much. Okay, bye.